but also relevance and influence. And Modest Mouse are indie rock legends.
Right, dude, new Todd in the Shadows. Oh, and it's on my favorite Modest Mouse song. I can't freaking wait.
Given all that, you may ask, is it really fair to call Modest Mouse one-hit wonders? And my answer to that question is no.
Come on.
April Fools, bitches!
Oh, that's right. It is April Fool's Day, isn't it? Seriously, are you talking about Modest Mouse or what?
Yeah, no Modest Mouse episode, deal with it.
Fine, I'll do a video myself. Yeah, I know this doesn't make any damn sense. Happy April Fool's Day! Fuck you! Yeah, we're really doing this. And just to be crystal clear, I don't have any ill will towards Todd or anything. I'm actually kind of a big fan. The One Hit Wonder series is really good, dude. I wanted an excuse to talk about Modest Mouse because, frankly, they fucked.
They fucked good, too. They were such good fuckers. Hell, they're still pretty good at fucking, if 2015 Strangers to Ourselves was any indication. Though if you happen to remember my old review of that album, you might remember this. Granted, I am somewhat of a fair-weather fan. I've only been on board since Good News for People Who Love Bad News, and I just haven't had the time to check out much of their back catalog. Yeah, since then, I've had the chance to go back to most of their back catalog, and yeah, all that stuff fucks too. This band,
They're just a very fucky band, you know? This video is going to become so dated when that phrase stops being a thing. But I'm just saying, Modest Mouse have been killing it on the indie circuit pretty much since day one.
Modest Mouse is one of those groups where I can fairly confidently say they don't have a bad record. Out of their entire discography, they haven't had a full-blown misfire of any kind yet. And that's exceptionally rare. Even their early stuff is very good for indie rock. It's essential listening. Like their first album, 1996's This Is a Long Drive for Someone with Nothing to Think About, is great. It's got this early mid-90s edge to it. It's almost what the Pixies might have sounded like if they'd survived into 96. It's minimalistic, but rough around the edges in a really pleasant way, and it's very desolate sounding, and it's very introspective and horrendously bleak. And then there's 97's The Lonesome Crowded West, where things start getting a little louder. It's a little more out there, a little more experimental. Like this album's got a few non-traditional elements thrown in there, along with some other stuff you probably wouldn't expect. There's even a full-blown punk song on this record. Yeah, this is a thing. This album's kinda all over the map, but in a very cool way, a genuinely creative way. It's robust and full feeling and also very bleak. And then came their major label debut, the Moon and Antarctica. If you're into indie rock, this thing probably doesn't even need an introduction. A good swath of Mouse fans will tell you this is probably their best record. And there's a damn good case to be made there. Gorgeous, airy composition, terrific string arrangements, and bold, intense percussion. An album of sinking depth, of crushing distance, and absolutely overwhelming bleakness. Oh, it's so bleak. It's so fucking bleak.
Are you starting to notice a pattern here?
Yeah, these guys had a bit of a miserable streak in their early days. It was like the best kind of miserable streak you could hope for, but yeah, Brock and Company, they'd written a lot of dour stuff over their time. Now granted, misery has always been en vogue with rock, grunge, nu metal, emo, hell, even a lot of indie artists out there are just known for being dark, moody, and miserable. Rock's always had a tinge of the darkness to it. Dark is just something that works well in rock.
But by the time album 4 came around, the guys weren't in a terribly good place. After their third album, things kind of started to get a little too dark for them.
So much so that their drummer actually had a nervous breakdown and quit the band before they were even able to get into the studio. Not to mention that, well, when they went in to do this record, we as a nation weren't doing so hot either. To quote lead singer Isaac Brock, I was just kind of fed up with how bad shit had been going and how dark everything was, with bad news coming from everywhere. Our president, George W. Bush, is just a fucking daily dose of bad news.
Oh man, remember when George W. Bush was the worst president we had? My soul hurts.
Then you've got the well-intentioned scientists telling us everything is fucked.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that really, really sucks right now. What can I say? If tragedy and strife really do make for the best Modest Mouse records, this next one's gonna make Purple Rain look like Saint fucking Anger. I'm so very tired.
I just want to feel good for a day. I had some friends die, and with Jeremy kind of losing it, after we got out of that dark spot with everything melting down with the band, I just wanted to make a positive record.
So that's basically what this song, and in some ways the album as a whole, actually is. An attempt at positivity.
Through all the shit, sorrow, and shame, Good News for People Who Love Bad News was intended to be a cheery, helpful, giddy little ball of sunshine to help us see past the gloom of it all. Were they successful?
Are you dead? Are you sleeping? Gosh, you are dead. You wasted life. Why wouldn't you waste it? All the people that you know don't live
Kinda, sorta, not really. Even by Brock's own admission, only about a quarter of the album ended up hitting that positivity goal they'd set for themselves. But I'd say this song in particular absolutely hit the mark they were setting for, in spades.
Honestly, this isn't a terribly complicated song or anything.
Which means I don't have to spend nearly as much time talking about this one as I did Hook. Ha!
But it's a song that's damn effective in everything it does. The beat is the pure definition of punchy. Boom, bop, boom, bop. It's like a rally or a straight up march. It instills a sense of determination and forcefulness.
Alright, already, alright, already. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. He wakes up in the morning. Does his Steve made to eat and he's rolling. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday. That marching ass rhythm. It's another tactic the record industry uses every single day, people.
It's a beat that straight up demands your attention. The very second those drums snap in, you're at high alert. For only being on one album, and at fairly short notice from what I understand, credit due to Benjamin Weichel, he did a damn fine job here. The rhythm guitars also keep that stiff, rigid beat in a very hard punching chord progression.
Everybody, march! We won't let those fuckers take me down!
The verses of this song are just very bold and spirited. Even the singing here is just... I'll echo what Todd originally said in his video. How the hell did this even get played on the radio, let alone become a full-fledged hit? But regardless of how it happened, I'm still absolutely thrilled that it did. I love so much about this song. I love how little of a fuck Isaac Brock gives in his singing. It's probably one of my favorite aspects of the band as a whole. Dude's just a straight up yelper. He makes a lot of the same sounds your dog makes when he's begging for treats.
Well, the windshield was broken, but I love the fresh air, you know.
You just want to give the guy a begging strip, don't you? Who's a good indie rocker? Who's a good indie rocker? Who's a good indie? You are! Yeah, you're a good indie rocker, you good indie rock. If Isaac Brock ever sees this video, he's gonna kick my ass.
But it isn't just loud bombastness at play here. Again, if I may invoke the name, the song has kind of a Pixies loud, soft, loud dynamic going on here. The harsh verses blend very smoothly into the much more wistful and swaying chorus, led in by the blissfully echoey and peaceful reverb of that electric guitar riff. Loud, soft, loud, soft.
Again, that's like a pop song 101 technique. Go listen to Pixies Doolittle, for example, and you'll hear that same technique pulled off in like 100 different cool, fun, and interesting ways. Or just, go listen to Doolittle because it fucking rules. There is an album I should talk about on my show sometime, huh?
But the lyrics are also putting this loud, soft technique to excellent use as well. The verses are abrasive and forceful because,
well, Brock is singing about some hard-ass times. Oh my god, dude, you hit a cop? Oh, that's the worst. I had a friend in high school who actually did that. Oh, he had to go to court, and the fines were outrageous. You are the single luckiest bastard in the world. Could you even imagine that happening in 2019? Holy shit. Okay, that's admittedly a pretty big step down from hit a cop with my car. Well, I'm glad it worked out okay, at least. Wait, a fake Is that a hit at Miss Cleo? Oh, that's right, though. When this song came out, it had only been like a year or so since Miss Cleo got exposed. Though, to be fair...
Who asked you to go out of town? The stupid young one or the married one?
The married one.
That's what I thought. Don't go, you hear me?
Michael, you really got yourself into trouble on that one, brethren. I got backup this time.
If you want him to believe that it's over, then you gotta stop accepting the booty calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the best disguise in the world. Okay, props where they're due. Learning magic tricks from Miss Cleo does sound pretty badass. As you can see, child, it's a basic ass guitar pick. You put it in the hand and you do the thing and oh, shit. Call me now for a free psych. Is this racist? I don't mean for this to be racist. Look, her accent was fake too.
Don't make me take you to church, young man.
But yeah, Brock's tone of voice is so harsh because he's singing about harsh times. You mouthed off too much and got in trouble for it. You got scammed by a con man. You hit a freaking cop.
That last line about getting fired on the exact same day, that really strikes a personal chord with me. This song originally came out in 2004, and in August of the following year, I had graduated from high school. I was in the middle of summer vacation, and I was about a month off from my first semester at college. I had to quit my part-time job because, well, I was getting ready to go to school, And the same week I'd done that, my mom got a surprise layoff from her factory job with zero notice. And also that same week, my dad got handed a surprise layoff as well. Wow, that mid-2000s crash really sucked, didn't it?
All of us lost our jobs. Well, not on exactly the same day, but it was close enough. It's hard to imagine a much more perilous financial situation to be in. Oh, the whole family just got fired? Here, have a millennial's college tuition bill. When I first heard Isaac Brock singing that line, I could have sworn he was singing it about me directly, man.
But hey, we've all had to go through hard times like that at one point or another. We've all ran our mouths off a little bit and gotten in trouble because of it. Almost all of you have probably been fired at one point or another. All of us have fallen for at least one scam or another out there. And,
well, I don't think most of you have hit a cop, but the general idea is still there. Sometimes shit just gets too fucking real, but you know what? We'll get through it. We'll get by. Even when things get a little bit heavy, we all float on, all right?
Don't worry, don't let things end up a bit too heavy.
The song is just so weirdly positive. It has a great attitude towards hard times and strife and struggle. And that's what I love about it. It's a song that can just make you feel good and make you feel like things are genuinely gonna be okay. And to add to that, it's able to do all of that without, you know, blowing a bunch of sunshine up your ass.
I mean, sometimes positivity in music, it can just feel like such bullshit, you know? Walking on sunshine, shiny, happy people, don't worry, be happy. Every single one of you can think of at least one, quote, happy song that when you hear it, has the exact opposite effect. It pisses you right the fuck off. The Ned Flanders of music.
They're not perfect, but the Lord says love thy neighbor. Shut up, Flanders. Oakley dokley doo.
If the song isn't really good at getting its irony or its sarcasm across, it can just come off as condescending and patronizing. I don't care how much of a positive person you are, nobody likes to be talked down to. And a lot of music that tries to exude a positive message can come off as preachy, self-righteous, and goddamn insufferable. It can feel fake and imposing. They try to jam the positivity down your fucking throat. No answers, no acknowledgement of how fucked up things are, just
smile, bitch! You're so much prettier when you smile! You should smile more!
I mean, ladies, I know y'all know how that bullshit feels. Holla if you hear me.
A bad positive song can actually invoke more anger and sadness than an actual angry or sad song can, because it doesn't acknowledge your humanity. It pisses on your head and tells you it's raining. It's positivity without empathy. And positivity without empathy is the exact same thing as negativity. Only it doesn't have the balls to just admit its negativity. It's the chicken shits version of cynicism.
But this song, yeah, man, it gets it. It understands that when shit gets heavy, it can get heavy. Sometimes you do get lucky and the mistakes you make can either get ignored or are easily forgiven or whatever. But most of the time, yeah, they don't. And you either gotta learn a lesson from what you just went through, or just try to keep your head up even though you don't know if there's gonna be a light at the end of that tunnel.
That crazy ass week in August when my dad had to come home, and after my mom and I had to admit we both lost our jobs, he had to come home and tell us he'd gotten fired too. We all just kind of stood around the kitchen table and, like, all we could do was laugh. I'm not joking. Like, we probably cackled for like a good half hour about it. I mean, a cosmic joke with that big of a punchline. What the hell else are you gonna do, I guess, right?
And that's what I always think about when I hear this song. That's why I feel like this song is an absolute beacon of true positivity. It doesn't offer easy answers. It doesn't talk down to you. It doesn't even know for sure what the hell it can actually do to console you, if anything. But it looks at life bluntly. It acknowledges that sometimes Lady Luck is the biggest bitch in the world, and it wishes you the best. Because hey, Brock's been there too. He knows what it's like. He's been fucked over and dealt a shitty hand, but hey, even when things get a bit too heavy, we still float on.
And you know what? We did too. My dad eventually found a new job. My mom actually took the opportunity to go back to school, and she ended up getting a better job. And I was even able to find a part-time job to balance between my crazy-ass class schedule. We figured it out. It sucked, and it was scary, and it just snuck up on us all at once, but, you know, we got through it. This song holds a pretty personal place in my heart. It's like the ultimate hang in there baby tune. You know, because even when things get hard, even when things get heavy, even when shit gets so heavy you can't believe that it's this freaking heavy, we get through it. You know? What doesn't kill us, well, even if it doesn't make us stronger, it didn't kill us, so we're still here. We still got stuff we can be happy about. We got stuff we can look forward to, and I don't know, it's not the most poignant message in the world, but sometimes it's reassuring to know that, hey man, I've been through worse. I've lived through some shit, and I'll live through this shit too. So hey, don't you worry. We'll all float on, alright?